Concrete, JLC Performance, Quick Car, Tyner Hurst, Thompson's Family of Dealerships, 94. Nice to have him in the house. Also, there's a look at the Karis, on the steering wheel. Making his way around. Car number 3B is Brody Ferguson. Ferguson from Langley, BC, the Old Timers Bar and Grill, Chase Construction, Shark Racing Engines, Copo Customs car. That is the 17B of Chris Bullock. Bullock making his season debut at Skagit Speedway. Driving the 51 car tonight's Kira Zylstra. Zylstra filling in for Tim Martin. We score that as the 51T. It is the on-site mobile truck wash, Shelton Land and Home Huffman Enterprises Cut-Rate Auto Parts car. As group number 1 finishing up.
They should let him probably rip another 2 or 3 laps, after this, but we'll see our lap times very likely maybe get into that 11-second bracket here once they get the green again. Cusp of 11-second bracket, broken Caleb. Trey Starks
got there.
Just got there. 11-9. What was it? 11-9-69.
996.
996.
Nice.
My timing and scoring a little slow today.
And the only one to get in there, DeCaris 2/10 off at 12.2, Drake 12.4, Zylstra 12.5, Ferguson 12.7. Bullock in the 17C, as we're going to score it, the Shark Racing Engines XXX OPC exclusive Aero Motorsports car.
That is Dustin Gehring. Dustin Gehring, car number 51, rolling into turn number 3. Oak Harbor, Washington Drive, sponsored by After Hours Customs and Collisions, Lewis Auto Glass, Terraza Auto Detail, and Black Market Speed. Other cars out on the track, the 10C, that is Colin Mackey. Colin Mackey right now in Bellingham. PDR Marine Fabrication, Speed Mark, Rothwig, KISN, and Bean Auto Machine car.
The aforementioned Coots car, getting some laps coming off of corner number 4.
Also on the track, the 33 of Colton Heath. Colton Heath out of Marysville. Mount Baker Landscaping, Scrap It, Stow It, CG Garage, Triple X, and Brent Rents car. On the other car we did not mention, Caleb, is the 17 of Cam Smith. Cam Smith in car 17 from Mill Creek, Quick Time Espresso, Quick Time Transport. Linden's Investigation and Fabrication. Sponsored 17 is Cam Smith goes second quick overall. Still, the only car in the 11-second bracket is the 55 of Trey Starks from Session 1. So Cam Smith, 12-2-53 there in that session is second on the board, as Colton Heath looks like he got to 4th and Holman 5th. So still not able to quite get to that lap that Trey Starks put down in session number 1. Not 2 minutes later.
Does Robbie's tired.
Oh, man.
Yep. The 21 with no letter on it was Jesse Schlottenfeld out of Arlington. High Performance Lubricants. Grinders Automotive and Marine. Shark Racing Engines, Triple Lakes, Pacific Performance Coatings, and JMI. Schlottenfeld in the 21. Next on your screen is the reigning 410 Division Champion. Out of Burlington, Washington, and the Lookout Car Wash Car Mart USA News is present thanks to Aaron, number 18. Jason Solwall, car number 18. White flag out on this session as you get a look at the 77 of Levi Klatt. Klatt's related to BC. Chilliwack Ford, Race Car Creative, Orca Auto Sales, Capstone Plastering, and Triple X sponsors as he jumps off the gas pedal. Also have on the raceway, if I saw correctly, the Rudine Racing 26 was out there of Levi Hillier. Hillier from Burlington and the Rudine Racing Spaney Buildings, Race Rudine Foundation, Race Gear, Go-Go Hobbies car. It's Kai Dixon. Kai Dixon in the 20K. Young man's taking the 360 action quite well. Only a matter of time before he ends up collecting podium finishes in that 20K.
The other car on track is the 9A. That is Luke Didiuk in car 9A. Driver from Maple Ridge, BC, sponsored by Pack Trucking, Miles Sand and Gravel, Mills Electric North, Temperature Control, and Hurt Rentals. Luke Didiuk in 9A. Kai Dixon in the session jumps up to 4th quick overall, 12.161. The only car in this set so far to break the top 5. 6th right now is Colby Thornhill, 12.198. So drivers still able to find some speed out here. Thornhill trying to roll the bottom. You see a little puff of dust there coming off of 2. It'll be very interesting to see where these drivers find grip coming up in qualifying, because the preferred lane does not have much grip. So this should be entertaining. The bottom is still so wet. The last thing you want to do is put your left front or left rear in that kind of mud gutter down on the bottom. But you know, maybe get up on the cushion a little bit on entry and try to drive off.
$100,000 plus on the line for our main event winner coming up on Saturday, June 21st. Dirt Cup starts Thursday, June 19th here at Skagit Speedway. First car on the track for time trials here for the 360s is Chris Bullock, the Shark Racing Engines XXX OPC exclusive Aero Motorsports car. Bullock in 17C making his season debut. He has run down at Grays Harbor already to shake the cobwebs loose. I want to say Martin Smith as well.
He did. I saw him on TV.
Bullock, 12.946. 12.946.
You see that top, like I was talking about, Caleb, just dust. There's a little bit of moisture if you get low enough, but dusty.
Lap number 2 for Chris, slower at 13.206 on 3.206.
Next car out on the track is car number 51T.
Kira Zylstra.
Kira Zylstra tonight in that car. First lap for Kira is 12.356, 1.2356. Kira goes to the top of the board out of 2 cars so far. We see Kira normally in her Sportsman Sprint car. Tonight getting some laps in the 360s. Second lap a little slower. 12.683 on lap number 2.
This is Bubba DeCaris. It's Greg's kid out on the raceway from Elk Grove, California. The DeCaris Motorsports, Morrison Concrete, JLC Performance, Quick Guard, Tyner, Hurst, Thompson's Family Dealerships. Sponsored number 94. DeCaris. 12.124. Quick time so far, some smoke showing. Bubba DeCaris coming off the corner. And his second lap is slower at 12.207, 12.207 for DeCaris.
Next car out on the track out of Langley, BC, in car number 3B, sponsored by Old Timers Bar and Grill, Chase Construction, Shark Racing Engines, and Copo Customs. This is Brody Ferguson. Brody Ferguson in car 3B, trying to roll the bottom through 3 and 4. First lap for Brody will go third quick, 12.425, 1.2425 for Ferguson. Trying to get some grip down on the bottom, kind of middle of the track. Second lap time will be slower, 12.524, 1.2524 for Ferguson.
Timing in next from Puyallup, TNC Concept Starks Racing Ale Driveline and Newland Bar Service for the reigning 360 track champion, Trey Starks. Starks in the 55 car is on the clock. National 360 Rookie of the Year, Minnesville. 11.957 is quick time. 1.957 for Starks.
Man, turn 2 is so dry. So dry over there trying to get drive off of it.
Second lap around for Trey's at 12.107. 2.107.
Next car out on the track is car number 10 from Emerson, Washington. This is Peyton Drake. Peyton Drake in car number 10. Sponsored by Pacific Coast Welding and Marine, Lemley Family Racing, Deming Speedway, Stedman Powder Coating, and Pioneer Garage. Is car number 10. First lap time for Peyton Drake is a 12.694, 1.2694. That's good for 5th quick so far. That LFR number 10 off of corner number 4. Lap number 2 is better, 12.549, 1.2549. Still 5th quick for Peyton Drake.
Next up, last night's 600 winner at Deming Speedway. The 10C is Colin Mackey from Bellingham. PDR, Marine Fabrication, Speedmark, Borthwick, KISM, and Reed Auto Machine sponsor the 10C. And first time around for Colin is 12.452, puts him 5th on the field at 12.452. Colin's second lap around. Times in at 12.462. 2.462 for Colin Mackey.
Next car on the track from Mill Creek, Washington, the QuickTime Espresso, QuickTime Transport, Linden's Restoration and Fabrication. Number 17, it's Cam Smith. Cam Smith in car 17. 5th place finish last week in the 410 A main for Cam. First lap tonight is a 12.563. That'll put him 7th quick thus far in 360 sprint car qualifying. See these guys trying to pin the bottom, Caleb, trying to find that moisture. Slightly faster, 12.490 on lap number 2 for Cam. That puts him 6th quick overall.
You wonder if at some point in time somebody's just going to jump upstairs and try to rail it maybe above what that moisture line looks like.
I'm surprised nobody has it yet.
Your multiple-time 360 track champions, Colton Heath out of Marysville. Mount Baker Landscaping, Brent Rent's Premium Services, Scrap and Stowing, and Triple X for Colton, who goes 3rd quickest at 12.164. 121.64 for Heath.
Colton got a good straight shot off of turn 2. A lot of guys are hanging. He had a good straight shot.
And unfortunately doesn't show for him. 12.213 on the second lap. 12.213 for Heath, who is 3rd quickest.
We may just see that higher line come in with this guy, Tanner Holm, in car number 66 from Monroe, Washington. The Wing Down Driving Experience, Speedmark, Race Redeem Foundation, Joe Hansen Mechanical, and Central Welding Supply. Number 66, Tanner got that car turned on a dime in corner number 3 and 4. 12.386 is lap number 1. That is 5th quick so far for Tanner. Man, he's able to pin that car right around the apron there. Lap number 2 for him, a little bit slower, 12.480. On lap number 2 for Holm, he is currently 5th quick.
Pretty consistently slower on lap 2 across the board here as the 29K of Levi Kuntz from Carnation, Washington. The George Anderson Company, Liuna 292, Stillwater Trucking, Looker, Bighorn Excavating, sponsored entry. Lap 1 for Levi is a 12.683, 10th on the field at 12.683.
See Levi try to run that higher line, just hard to get turned off the dust. It's not running yet.
And second lap around for Kuntz, 12.546, second lap is the quicker of the two, 12.546.
Next car on the track is car number 51 from Oak Harbor, Washington. It's Dustin Gehring. Dustin Gehring, sponsored by After Hours Customs and Collisions, Lewis Auto Glass, Terraza Auto Detail, and Black Market Speed. First lap for Dustin. It's going to be a 13.043, 13.043, currently 12th quick for car number 51. Second lap, 13.102, 13.102 for Dustin Gehring.
He's a multiple-time feature winner on the year, but none of them have come here at Skagit Speedway yet. Driving the Redeem Racing, Spaney Buildings, Race Redeem Foundation, Race Ready Clothing Factory, K number 26, Levi Hillier. Hillier in the 26, coming out about midway through time trials for a lap of 12.276. That's 4th on the field, 12.276. Second time by for Levi, year number 2 in the 360. And he is just a tick slower at 12.319, 1.2319, 4th on the field for Hillier.
Another Levi taking the track now from Langley, British Columbia. In his Triple X Chassis Series Performance, Chilliwack Ford, Race Car Creative, Orca Auto Sales, Capstone Plastering, Triple X. This is Levi Klatt. First lap time for Levi Klatt's a 12.460, 1.2460. That is currently 9th quick for Levi Klatt. Really drives the car deep into the bottom of turn 3 there on lap number 2. Second lap a little bit slower, barely. 12.461. First lap at a 12.460 will be the official time for Levi Klatt.
Well, if anybody deserves a little good luck this week, it's Robbie Price. Price in the Cobble Hill, British Columbia hometown car. He's sponsored by Saratoga Motorsports, Park Shark Racing Engines, Malahat Auto Wrecking, Grinders Automotive and Marine, Cal Creek Mining, and his first lap around is a good one. 4th fastest at 12.181. you just pick up the pace a little bit. Again, lap 2 across the board has been a little slower for everyone, except Robbie, who picks up 2 thousandths and goes 12.179, 12.179.
This is the most decorated driver in Skagit Speedway history, in car number 18 from Burlington, Washington. This is Jason Sowald. Jason Sowald, sponsored by Blue Cow Car Wash, Car-Mart USA, Lulu's Espresso, and thanks to Aaron. First lap time is 5th quick, 12.231, 1.2231 for Jason. Enters high and gets the car to turn down across. We'll see if he can do better, and he does it, 12.146. That's good for 3rd quick for the 18 of Jason Sowald.
Nice lap from the veteran as coming out behind him. It's the 21 of Jesse Schlotfeld. High Performance Lubricants, Grinders Automotive, and Marine Shark Racing Engines, XXX, Pacific Performance Coatings, and JMI. Schlotty coming off the corner. 2 weeks ago, he picked up a couple of feature wins in one weekend. As his first time around, Jesse goes 7th on the field at 12.293. Lap number 2 for Schlotfeld. Just a hair slower at 12.300. 7th quick for Jesse Schlotfeld.
These laps are also close, but we're generally seeing that. The second lap is a little bit slower. We'll see with the 33 of Bill Rood. He's on the track now from Mount Vernon, Washington. Sponsored by Skagit Roofing, Sign Pro, Ideal Rental, RNH Mechanical, and Northwest Auto Body. First lap time for Bill Rood. 16th quick, 12.775, 1.2775 for Mr. Rood. Right around that color change for 3 and 4. Second lap time for Bill, 12.960, 1.2960. He'll take his first lap time as his official time tonight at 16th quick so far.
On the track next, the Elite Transportation, Economy Propane, Cascade Materials, Nordic Temperature Control, number 0. It's Ashley Johnson. Johnson in car 0. On the clock, let's see her burn the throttle pretty significantly. Coming through, 13.321 on lap number 1.
She drove it pretty deep to the middle there in 3 and got off, trying to probably stick to the bottom there. Entered a little bit higher. Looks better here on lap 2.
And indeed she is. 12.989, 1.2989 for Johnson on her second lap.
In car 20K on the track now from Maple Ridge, BC. This is Kai Dixon. Kai Dixon in the Black & McDonald Built Performance, Lord Co Parts, Excel Race Gear, and Go Hobby sponsored car. First lap time is at 12.395, 1.2395. That is currently 10th quick for Kai Dixon. Had a good time overall in hot laps. We'll see if he can get a little more speed here. He does not. 12.547 will take his first lap time at a 12.39.
Well, the always entertaining Colby Thornhill is next out and on the racetrack at the 19. Thornhill on the clock, BME Enterprises, Missile Motorsports, Extreme Graphics, and PGH Excavating. Thornhill, first time by, 15th at 12.528. Now Colby has shown he is able to race his way out of it in the heat race, but certainly wants a better starting spot than what he's looking at right now. Second time better, 12th quick at 12.434, 1.2434.
Taking the green flag now from Maple Ridge, BC in car 9A, sponsored by Pack Trucking, Miles Sand and Gravel, Mills Electric, Nordic Temperature Control, and Hurt Rentals. It's Luke Didiak. Luke Didiak in car 9A. He'll stop the clock on lap 1 at 12.924, 1.2924. That is currently 19th quick for car number 9A. Luke making his way out of corner number 4, second lap time. A 13 flat, 13.000 for Luke Didiak in car 9A.
Final car to qualify. It is the Our Community Credit Union Bulldog Trailers, number 5 of Destry Miller. Destry Miller, the 5D. Destry, track champion, takes lap number 1 and comes across 19th on the field at 12.916. Summer Challenge Series. Round number 2 here tonight at Skagit Speedway. Testing all 6 rounds is the intent, as lap 2 is better at 12.762, 12.762.
So your quick time on the night in the 360 sprint cars is the 55 of Trey Starks, 11.957. for Trey tonight. Second quick, Greg DeCaris, 12-124. Third quick, Jason Sowald. Fourth quick, Colton Heath. And fifth quick, the 21P of Robbie Price. Levi Hillier was sixth. Jesse Slotfelt seventh. Eighth was the 51T of Kira Zylstra. Ninth quick, 66 of Tanner Holm. And 10th quick, the 20K of Kai Dixon. He has a win here, got a win at Douglas County, got a win at Cottage Grove. Question, did he win at Cottage Grove or just Douglas County?
No, Douglas County on the Friday night and Skagit Speedway Saturday night.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So Jesse got a couple wins under his belt this season already. So, of course, Colton Heath, multi-time track champion. So, front row down the back straightaway, lights are out as Colton Heath and Jesse Schlotfeld lead heat race number 1 for 360 sprint cars to green. Out of corner 4, we are underway as they're side by side down into corner number 1.
Let's see if that proves true. What is the high groove doing? And it looks good for Schlotfeld, but we're going to say one more time.
I thought that start was okay, but I'm not an official, so I guess it wasn't okay.
We'll give it a second try here. Kai Dixon in a really interesting spot here in this heat race, surrounded by 3 very accomplished drivers all in and around him. It's a great learning opportunity here for our sportsman sprint champion, who I believe got some engine help on the evening. If I heard correctly, it might be an LFR engine in that car, so big thank you to the Lemley family on that. See how it sequences out. Dixon to the inside of row number 2, second try, getting the start underway. And yeah, gamesmanship continues.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if that one doesn't come back too, but so far we're green. So Colton Heath leads down the back straightaway. Schlotfeld's going to look to the bottom. His Starks is now up to 3rd as Colton Heath will lead lap number 1.
Heath up front, Schlotfeld in the second position. That is Starks rim riding. He's got a nice run on Jesse. See if he gets a bid for second place here, as he's just a couple of car lengths back. Trey's going to alter his path. He goes off the bottom of the corner, and he'll go to the bottom of 1 and 2, looking underneath Schlotfeld in the battle for position number 2.
Yeah, Trey knows that in order to get by Schlotfeld, he's got to be in a line that he's not. Jesse loves to run the top, so Trey's trying to figure out his car and give his note back to his dad for anything. Colton Heath has set sail on heat race number 1 as he is just ripping the top.
As he is, as long as Starks finishes 3rd here, he'll be somewhere in the first 3 rows of the main event. We're at the halfway point. Colton Heath looking fairly untouchable here as he has opened her up over Schlotfeld. Starks. Dixon sits 4, Kuntz sits 5 with 3 to go.
Of course, last week we had a lot of rain, but this is about where we saw the cushion end last week, Caleb, with kind of the width of the track and everything. So really nice surface here so far as how wide we've got it. Is next time by, we should see the white flag for the 33 of Colton Heath.
Starks had closed on Schlotfeld there, but did not get through the top of turn 3 and 4 well. There's a look at the race leader, heat race number 1, just a little ways from completing, and Colton Heath, after getting out to a good start, has held it. Now the next one for the final time, and Colton Heath dancing through the sunlight and to the checkered flag. He'll pick up the win. First heat race followed by Jesse Schlotfeld, Trey Starks, and Heath will be your 2 cars going to the redraw. Kuntz gets 4, and Dixon picks up position 5.
It's interesting watching these guys run the bottom because they've been used to no berm. So you kind of have to rethink how you're going to approach.
DeCaris, and your heat race winner would also go to the redraw, whoever that ends up being.
Has DeCaris ever raced here before?
Remember his dad being here once, but that's 20-something years ago. First time we've seen Bubba.
So Bubba has never been. Okay. Very cool to see California cars make their way north.
Second place in Placerville season points last year in their 360 division, led for a little while going into the final night, in fact. As they're 2x2 coming through the corner, Price, Zylstra, Green.
Price gets a huge jump down into corner number 1. He'll go to the top, and we are through 1 and 2. As we've got a huge run down the back straightaway from DeCaris. He's going to dive to the bottom, and he will be second at the completion of lap number 1. DeCaris quarter 2 with 1 lap.
Wow, DeCaris came here to pass race cars and chew bubblegum, and he is all out of bubblegum already, up to second place down the back straightaway. Can he hunt down Robbie? That's the next question. If he can, that would knock a redraw car out and give Greg the pole. Bubba on the haul, trying to make his way forward as there's Peyton Drake and Brody Ferguson for third.
Ferguson got into the fence on the exit of 4 here last lap. Drake not able to capitalize, but yeah, that front straightaway sure is getting slick, and it's hard to keep the car straight. But Robbie Price right now, not any stranger to Skagit Speedway, very comfortable out front. He is starting to set sail on this.
Well, you look at it, 1 and 2 have a gigantic gap. If you're watching on the YouTube stream, there goes Levi Klatt. Klatt was running 5th just a couple of laps ago. Down to the bottom, slides up to the top. Now Ferguson back downstairs trying to return the favor here in the heat race. But it is Klatt holding the spot. Big move for him, and that's a couple of spots in the A-main event that he just picked up.
Yeah, that's a huge move. He took advantage of Ferguson's floundering out of 4. Ferguson almost in the wall in 3 as Drake's now going to look to the bottom. He'll try to get that spot down the front straightaway as we should see the white flag next time by.
It's weird. Drake kind of running the anti-heat race from the one that he did before where he was patient and steady. He's moved that car all around the racetrack looking for ground as we're down to 1 lap to go and flashing into corner number 3. All Robbie Price in this one. Price to the redraw, set himself up well, and then it is Bubba DeCaris with an impressive 4-2 in the heat race. He'll also go to the redraw.
Yeah, Robbie did not ever look back at all in that heat race. Very impressive run for the 21 of Robbie Price. Is as you said, Robbie and DeCaris will go to the redraw for tonight's A feature, and they are guaranteed a top 6 starting spot.
You know, if this track continues the way that it is with the sunshine out, and this is going to be one of the longer days of the year as far as sunlight is concerned, you watch
reserved and just like very humble, very, very nice person. And then he puts his helmet on, and you're like, oh, wait,
that's a racer.
That's Tanner?
Yeah.
Like, what? So, yeah, he's super, super, super nice guy. Really fast behind the wheel of a race car like you're talking. And, man, he's got a stacked field in this heat race with him.
Much less that second row in behind him.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Always exciting Colby Thornhill and our defending 410 track champion, the most decorated driver in Skagit Speedway history.
Of which row 2 has history together, if we remember, through last year, some of this year as well. So that'll be fun to watch.
Hopefully it's not explosive until the A-main, right?
Out of corner 4. Hillier, home, green is out. Side by side down the front. We've got one off the pace at the green, but we're through 1 and 2 as Hillier will take the lead down the back straightaway. Levi Hillier leads down into the corner as Sowald's going to look to the bottom on home. Jason Sowald looking for position 2, and he'll have it down the front straightaway.
Levi was bound and determined to get to the top. Old man to try to throw a slider to get back up into the position, and now door opens down low, and you know if there is a good lower groove, Jason Sowald is going to be able to hit it, but we've got a caution flag out.
We saw at the start of that race, Destry Miller just did not go, like, at all. Just kind of almost did a pace lap around the bottom, so the yellow came out. Yeah, that was odd. That was almost like a turn 4 restart, but we no longer have that. We've got our interstate batteries, outrageously dependable restart zone on the back straightaway. Hillier can go anywhere from the start of that green paint near the Ford banner on down to the Cook Road Shell banner on the back straightaway. Anywhere where it says interstate batteries, they can go.
What a great dichotomy this is, the young star versus the cagey, decorated veteran. It's a good start by Levi.
Levi protects the bottom. He knows Sowald's going to go to the bottom, so he had to do that. But Levi will have the lead down to the front, Sowald's going to the bottom.
Jason actually kind of running the middle here. You saw him seeking and looking for moisture in through there. Gets up to the top of 3 and 4 as Hillier trying to stretch over Sowald, Thornhill, Hole, and then there is Cam Smith working the low side on Tanner. That's for position number 4.
Everybody kind of knows you got to be up in that cushion right now around the top. And if you don't hit it just right over turn 3, there's a little kind of not really a hole, but a rough patch. And if you hit that wrong and you're not square, it'll kind of upset your car.
Cam Smith continuing to work the low groove in 1 and 2 and trying to find ground underneath Tanner, and you can see a real solid sealed over groove beginning through 3 and 4 just underneath the cushion. Watch it right here coming into viewpoint. They are wearing this racetrack out. Slick through the middle with a little on the top and the bottom to hit. Provides pretty good racing most of the time. As Holm don't open the car around 1 and 2 with 3 laps to go.
Hilliard still out in front of this one. Sobol almost looks like he's able to close that lead just a little bit. His next time by, we're going to see the white flag. But so far, Levi Hilliard has led every lap. Sobol still running second. Third is the 19 of Thornhill. Fourth is 66 of Holm as Hilliard sees the white flag this time by.
One to go for Levi, getting the job done here in the heat race. So go to redraw as long as the last half lap goes according to plan. To the bottom, make sure he's not going to see a slide job out of nowhere. And takes the W over Jason Sobol, who will also hit the redraw. And then Thornhill, Holm, and Smith, 1 through 5. Here at Skagit Speedway, here in the third and final heat race.
Yeah, you bring up that strip of slick there through 3 and 4. That's kind of uncharacteristic of Skagit Speedway to see that so early. You know, sometimes you see it later in the night, but
Deep Gladiator pace truck is pulling off, and he will duck to the inside here in corner number 1, where Heath and Price set the pace, coming through the corners and down the back straightaway.
Those first 3 rows, 4 rows, 5 rows, there's so much depth to this field. This is going to be a really fun 30 laps.
It is Heath and Price slowly rolling into it and off of corner number 4. It's showtime at Skagit Speedway.
Colton Heath leads the field down into corner number 1, and Robbie Price has a huge run on the outside. Robbie Price takes the lead out of corner 2 as now Starks is in pursuit of Colton Heath for the second spot.
Up from the bottom, there goes Heath. He actually leads lap number 1. Patient around the low side for Colton, takes him in. He'll go to the top to try to lead the line away from Price. Price crosses him over to the low side of 3 and 4, slides up, lap 2, Robbie Price.
We got cars sliding all through the middle, mid-pack, but it's a really good race for those top 3 spots as Heath trying to get drive off the bottom as now Starks has him right in his sights as Starks can't quite get the drive off of 4, and Colton Heath's going back from the right.
Wow, the low groove coming off of 4 for Colton has just been dynamite as he made up a ton of ground on Robbie. Robbie catches it though and says, all right, what's good for you, I can do better, as he comes off the bottom 4 and stretches the lead that time by.
Yeah, Robbie learned that time. He had to get to the bottom to get that drive off the corner, and that's going to be huge for him, but moving now is lap traffic, and Robbie's going to have to navigate it quickly and efficiently to stay in the lead.
You know, Colton might just straight up be better in turn 4 right now because he came off the top that time and actually closed on him a little bit. Price is getting through 1 and 2 better, but now he's going to be the first one to lead him into traffic. It'll start with Chris Bullock. Heath makes the adjustment and goes to the low side as Price laps the 17th seat.
We've got Starks watching all this happen, and he's just biding his time right now. But Robbie Price looking really strong. He'll go to the top at 3 and 4 this time. Maybe try to see if he can get some drive there. Just not a lot off the top. He's going to be driving off the bottom.
Now trying to lap Nestor Miller. He'll put him in the rear view mirror, so to speak, coming up on Gary as Heath tries to match him. Move for move and getting through the field. Colton gets back to the bottom, reeling him in big time. As it again is Price strung up on the high groove. High groove is not where you want to be coming off of 4. Good enough in 1 and 2 as Heath narrows on him going into 3.
Price is going to hit the high groove as we got lap cars on the low side. Heath has to go to the top 2. He's following down the front straightaway. Heath is right on Price's bumper waiting for a mistake.
Robbie Price down the back straightaway, 10 laps into this, and he's putting lap cars away quickly, but Colton Heath has been closing the gap ever so much every time by. They get up and around Root, Price up on the high side, and Heath 2 car lengths back as they exit turn number 2, a third of the race done.
And Trey Starks is not letting him get away whatsoever. We've got the top 3 right in the same corner through this first part of this race. We've got a car around in turn 2. Yellow flag comes out of Peyton Drake, but he keeps it going.
So good job by Drake of keeping that thing rubber side down, and that's going to be a gigantic breath of fresh air for Robbie Price because he was coming up on drivers both high and low, racing for position ahead of him. Caution flag out. Lap marker says 11 down, 19 to go. Price had made all the right moves so far, but man, the way that was sequencing, it felt like Colton Heath actually had the advantage in slower traffic there. Remember, it was about the halfway point last week when he started to have a tire going down. That was after a red flag. But Price is going to be faced with an Interstate Batteries outrageously dependable restart zone, back straightaway start. Colton Heath, Trey Starks, Levi Hilliard, Jesse Schlattfeld stacked up, just waiting for him. He's going to have to make the right move. Into the zone he goes early-ish. Green flag, there goes Heath. Boy, that car straight as an arrow up and around the top. He tries to build a big old run going into 1 and 2, and he's bringing Starks with him.
Yeah, Colt maintains speed really well, a lot better than I thought he would. As we've got Thornhill going around Soulwall. As Colby Thornhill now up to the 6th spot, he's going to try to rail the top of 3 and 4, but Robbie Price still clear here at the top of 3. That not changed.
I wonder how clean the top of the racetrack is getting through 3 and 4, because we've got quite a few drivers up there now, working their way through. Price doing a good job. He's getting himself some gap. Heath Starks now for 4th. Schlotfeld to the bottom, trying to take it away from Hillier in 1 and 2. Slides up and Levi kisses the wall, but we had one around, and that is going to bail him out.
Boy, that was Jesse got a huge run on the bottom of 4, and kind of went for the slider, sort of. So as the yellow came out, the yellow was actually out before the pass even was made.
Yep.
Levi made contact with.
All right, race truck ducks off. Once again, Interstate Batteries outrageously dependable restart zone coming up. From the back straightaway, they've got to stay in a straight line till the end of the green, passing in between the cone and the outside wall. Cannot advance your position before then, but once you hit there, you're golden. Back to action.
A little bit later start for Robbie that time as Colton's going to go back to the top. It's a really straight shot off the corner, and he is after Price and starts to look to the bottom, see if he can get some drive off of 2, but the top 3 stay the same.
Top 5 stay the same. Schlotfeld tried the bottom as well on Levi Hillier, and now Hillier's making the adjustment. He's gone to the low side. I think he smells a chance to catch up to Trey Starks here. Starks to the top of 1 and 2. Watch how this field attacks 3 and 4. It's Price down on the bottom, and Colton sticking up to the high line. Meanwhile, for 3rd, Levi Hillier really picking something up and closing the gap on Trey Starks for that position.
Trey's car isn't really driving to 1 and 2 like he normally likes, or how he normally looks through 1 and 2, so Hillier definitely on the hunt here, but Schlotfeld, man, he's trying to knock the ball down to try to catch up to that.
And he's going to have some Thornhill to deal with if he continues that line around the racetrack. Nice to see him up, burning down the cushion here. For 2nd, Starks has moved back to the bottom as brought him closer to Heath. Here comes slower traffic though in front of your lead pack as Price going to get into it and go to the bottom on Destry Miller.
Yeah, not where Robbie wanted to go either. He's in front of the top, and the lap cars were kind of switching lanes on him a little bit, but he's able to get up and around. He's going to get around 2 more to go. And Gary down the back straight.
18 down and 12 to go as Price again into traffic, carrying around, and he's going to catch the car coming in and behind him. That's the 17C of Bullock. As a yellow flag out onto the track, and that could have been way worse. It's carrying around, collecting Bullock, but your lead pack gets through it again. Getting quality seat time.
Lights are back out on the Car-Mart USA pace truck. Robbie Price is going to lead Heath, Starks, Hillier, Schlotfeld, and Thornhill back to the green.
12 to go. Price will once again have his option of where to get onto the throttle pedal. Watch him, and this time he's got a little bit faster pace coming into the restart zone.
Early restart again.
Trying to mix it up and keep Colton at bay, but Colton's got a really big run again, and Starks is right there on him. They're tighter going into 1 and 2 than they have been. Slide job through 1 and 2. New leader for now. Crossover for Price. Back down to the bottom. He's got the spot back. Colton up top, trying to ride momentum. Starks right there as 3 cars throw a blanket over him going into 1.
Trey Starks going to go to the bottom now on this one as Price gets the lead back. Trey Starks to 2nd, slides across the nose of the 33 of Heath.
So Starks now getting into the middle of the racetrack through 3 and 4. Colton coming back up top, and Levi Hillier starting to pick up the pace in position 4, trying to not let that top pack go. It is Price, Starks, Heath, 1, 2, and 3 coming off the corner. We have got 9 laps left, and Robbie Price still in control.
We got Levi Hillier. He's right on the bumper, and Heath is easy to look to the bottom, going into 1, slides, but not able. Heath has the momentum down the back straight.
Colton keeping it up and going up and around the high groove, still trying to make it work up there. Meanwhile, Trey Starks pulling a page out of the Donnie Schatz playbook. Yeah, he is up on the very top of 1 and 2, but traffic looms, and Trey Starks on the hunt for Price a few car lengths back.
Trey Starks able to roll that middle unlike any other car on the track as Price is getting through lap traffic really clean right now, but man, Trey Starks is going to drive it up in turn 3, bounce across the top, and he's trying to fill in the 21P.
If that car hadn't unloaded on him, it might have been able to keep up as we're down to just a handful of laps to go. Price momentum off the high side, lapping Destry Miller down on the bottom. There's Starks again, and that time it's a cleaner corner, but the exit is not as good, and that allows Price to get further away with 4 to go.
Race for your lead as lap traffic leaders Price and Starks. Starks trying to rail the top into the brake. You see it glowing there. Blowing the cushion, trying to get it with just a few laps to go.
He's got some speed up there, but he's going to need a perfect set of corners here, and a little bobble from Robbie. Robbie a little crossed up coming off the corner, and now Trey reeling him in even more. Price down low, big run, Starks down the front straightaway, to the bottom, slider coming in the turn, up to the exit of turn number 2, and new race leader, Trey Starks, as we come to the white flag.
Starks down to the bottom to protect here as they're going to see the white flag. Price trying to roll the bottom. Starks has the lead with 1 to go. Robbie to the bottom.
Robbie going down low, tried it, couldn't get through the middle. Starks, last week he got him on the last lap. This time he gets him with 2 to go to the checkered flag. It's Trey Starks. Robbie, Price, and Colton Heath. It is the exact same top 3 from the 360 main last week. The only difference is Starks takes the lead with 2 to go instead of 1 tonight here at Skagit Speedway.
What a race tonight in the 360 sprint cars at Skagit Speedway. Give him a hand, Trey Starks in car number 55, your winner.
All these drivers incredible out there. Wow. Colton Heath leads lap 1. Price goes 2 through 28. It's only a 25 lapper last week.
What a track,
Starks
too.
yeah.
God, the top right on the fence.
We had seen it the lap or 2 before that Trey was starting to build at least the car speed coming off the corner, but he could never really get there on exit. He used that speed to slingshot him to the bottom of turn number 1. That momentum carried him all the way through and to the point where he could get to the throttle early enough coming off of the second corner to take that win.
Well, and it messed Robbie up just enough to where he tried to turn the car, but kind of got stuck in that middle dry groove and just could not get the drive that Trey could off the top where the moisture's at. Yeah, Robbie's going to be, that's going to be a tough interview for Robbie to do again 2 weeks in a row.
After controlling that, I mean, the only time somebody got to his back bumper is when Trey made the pass. Otherwise, he maintained that 2 to 3 car length advantage in racing conditions the whole way through. Your heart feels for Price, and at the same time, your brain goes, another incredible Trey Starks performance.
Not surprised to see it, but man, Robbie just completely dominated that race up until lap 28, and the last lap's the one that matters, Caleb, and Trey did it.
Pit area will be open for you guys to go on down, meet your favorite drivers, grab autographs and such, pick up some merchandise and more as we get ready for a doubleheader next weekend. Out of the car and celebrating again, Trey Starks. Wow. You remember the role Trey was on heading into Dirt Cup last year. It was not his year. He had a rough Jim Raper Memorial Dirt Cup. That role is beginning to build up again, at least in our 360 division, as Trey drives to victory again tonight. Nice little payday and a win in the Summer Challenge Series as well.
A huge part of that success is down there looking at the car right now is Colin Starks, his brother, his younger brother, measuring those tires like, what was just on the car? What did we just have? Right, that like those guys are some of the smartest people when it
Well-
comes to the geometry of a race car. They build a lot of their own parts with their CNCs, and
For a third-generation racer as well, they learned from John, who was an incredible open-wheel driver, who John learned from Arnie Stark's grandpa, who was a fierce competitor in everything he did as well. So it is just passed down over the years. And Eric List, this is starting to become relatively commonplace for you, talking to Trey Starks after snagging another 360 win in the late stages of the race.
Yeah, I don't know. This feels awfully similar to last week. Sorry, Robbie, I didn't mean to bring that one up, but Trey, for you get done a couple laps before, very eerily similar to last week, it seems.
Yeah, that race, I mean, the result was similar, but that was, I feel like, about as different of a race as you could get than last week. The racetrack, man, what an awesome job. You know, really, really wide, little technical. I was searching that entire time. I feel like I didn't run one corner the same. I was trying to get the middle to come in, and it just wasn't quite there. Might have worked on restarts, but I kind of, you know, picked Colton's pocket and then, you know, took his idea down here. I think he worked it to where it was pretty good on the top, and I just kind of saw an opening, and everybody was funneling towards the bottom, and I thought, try and figure out how to make the top work down here. So just, you know, speaks to our team, how good our car is, how consistent we are week in, week out. You know, you can't have a good race like that without a good racetrack, and Skagit's just doing an awesome job. We had, again, what a wonderful facility to come race at, and excited to be back here in a couple weeks and with Dirt Cup coming up.
When you say you were searching, what were you precisely searching for? Was it grip, just a better drive off maybe?
Yeah, grip, a little bit of grip, and mainly find a spot that they're not running. You know, two things is, one, you stay in clean air, and two, you have an option if you get close to them. So I kind of wanted to know exactly where the grip was on the racetrack and what I could work with, and it paid off. You know, sometimes you can get messing around too much and start going backwards. So I feel like I tried it and then I abandoned it just when I needed to. So yeah, really good night for us. I want to give a shout out to our buddy Dallas Melby back home. He just lost his dad a couple days ago. So we're thinking of him and wish he was here, but we'll probably see him in a couple weeks.
Well, Trey Stark stands atop the podium here in the 360 Sprint Cars. And Robbie Price, I'm sure there's some frustration setting in. Anything you could have done differently, you feel, in that race, especially on those last couple laps?
I don't know, maybe. I think it's probably slowed my momentum down a little bit with the lap traffic at the end, but I don't know, it's tough. They're very unpredictable. I mean, nothing against them. They're all learning. I'm sure I was like that once too, but it's just hard when they're unpredictable, and then I didn't know where to put my race car, and I was really good in 1 and 2, I felt like, and just maintaining in 3 and 4, and then I kind of broke my momentum off of 4 and started spinning my tires a little bit, and ultimately probably gave Trey the run. But hats off to my guys. They're busting their ass, and so am I. We just don't have the results to show for it. So we're on the podium every week, just not where we want to be. So I'm excited for the next couple weeks and see if we can get one spot better.
Well, Robbie Price brings home second place. And we'll go chat with Colton Heath in third. Well, Colton Heath brings it home in third, but I hear you saying you were ascending, and I'm going to take a guess. You're probably talking about that last restart when you slid Robbie and kind of got by Trey there, too. You guys were battling, all three of you, just trying to find a better piece than the other on the racetrack, it seemed like.
Yeah, you know, I really kicked myself for the initial start for going to the very bottom. I knew it wasn't going to be that good, but I thought maybe I could roll that, and got into second, and then paced with Rob and just tried to keep going and going. And lap traffic, I think, was going to help me at one point because I was doing the top in 3 and 4 there, and he wasn't. And just it was kind of a weird shape of how he had to do it, so he just didn't quite know. But, you know, it didn't really work out. I had a restart where I had a shot at it. Just probably didn't send it hard enough to get up soon enough to get enough good drive off, and it was just didn't work out in my favor tonight.
Well, Colton Heath still puts it on the podium. He brings it home in third.
Well, top 3 again tonight. It's the exact same top 3 as last week in the 360 Sprint Cars, and again, it is done in spectacular fashion here at Skagit Speedway. Trey Starks takes home that very cool-looking first-place trophy here on the night. We'll see you guys next weekend. Doubleheader action Saturday and Sunday. 360s again on the card Saturday. If you enjoyed this, come on back for more. We'll do it again. Gates open at 5, racing at 7. And then we'll follow it up with Sunday's Father's Day show, 2 o'clock for racing action. Buy one, get one. Adult tickets for Sportsman Sprints, Modifieds, and Hornets on Sunday afternoon. For Eric List, down trackside, Justin Youngquist up here in the booth with me. I want to thank everybody for being here. My name is Caleb Hart. We will again see you for doubleheader action the final weekend before we get into the Jim Raper Memorial Dirt Cup coming up in just 12 days. I'm Caleb Hart. Good night, everybody, here from Skagit Speedway.